depending, or you can stay seated. I just want to go over the chapter we're on in our book, Together Better Than Before. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I think it has a lot of good nuggets in there, whether or not you are someone who's intentionally trying to change a habit in your life or not. I think it's just good wisdom in here. Particularly this chapter. I felt very seen in this chapter. The chapter is called Nothing Stays in Vegas, and it's all about the loopholes or the excuses we give ourselves when we're trying to stick or create a good habit. When we're trying to stick to our good habits. And I love the quote it starts with, "So convenient a thing is to be a reasonable creature, since it enables one to find or make a reason for everything one has a mind to do." Such a convenient thing to have this brilliant mind, because what we can do with it is we can talk ourselves out of the exact same thing that we have intended to do. So it goes on to talk about the loopholes like moral licensing. Well, I've been really good all week, so I deserve a little treat now. Or I've done it so well up until now, I have a little bit of a leeway to slide a little bit. Who's done that before? Then the other one's the tomorrow loophole. Do it tomorrow. Today's kind of busy, but tomorrow's good. There's no point of tidying up because this weekend I'm going to do a big spring clean. So we just talk ourselves into waiting and waiting and waiting, and tomorrow is always going to be a better day. The false choice loophole. So when we convince ourselves that we only have two choices. Well, I have to work, so I can't get to my mat and exercise. Or I don't have time, so I'm just going to do nothing instead. So we have these false choices where there's always another way. We can always do a little bit or at least attempt. Then there's the lack of control loophole. So when we think, or I think this one could be called the blaming loophole, when we blame a situation or others, like, well, I have kids to take care of, so of course I have to prioritize them over prioritizing myself. I have dogs, I have chickens, so I have to take care of that, and I can't get to my yoga mat because I have to open the chicken coop. I travel all the time for work, so I can't stick to my good habits. So it's kind of putting the control in external circumstances or blaming others for our lack of commitment. Arranging to fail loophole. So this is a strange one that we do, but we kind of set ourselves up for failure. And it's talking about, going to work at that cafe or going to that cafe that you are just, oh, I'm just going to have a tea or a coffee, but you know that they have your favorite muffins or your favorite cakes or your favorite brownies there. So if we went to a cafe that didn't have that, maybe we would be able to resist. But if we go to the favorite cafe that's going to have that muffin, it's going to be very hard to resist that temptation. And other things too, like, I'll just quickly check my emails before I go into this meeting. And then suddenly all your time has gone. This doesn't count loophole. So this, the loophole or the excuse we tell ourselves when we say, well, it doesn't count. This one last little bite of the cake doesn't count. No one saw it. It doesn't count. I'm on vacation. I'm on holiday. It doesn't count. It's the weekend. It doesn't count. My habits can slip. Been there before many times. The questionable assumption loophole. So we make assumptions like, well, this is taking too long. I should be done already. So I don't have time to work on it at all. Or I can't start working until my office is clean. All creative people are messy. I've already showered, so I can't exercise, etc., etc. So making these assumptions for ourselves, again, just another excuse. Our concern for others. Well, when I try to change this habit, maybe I'm stopping coffee or sugar, I get irritable, and then my partner or my family suffer. So I'm just going to stick to this habit. So when we kind of put the blame or the excuse on other people, how it affects them when we change our habits. And then finally, the one coin loophole. When we convince ourselves that just making a small change, a small good habit, doesn't have any effect. And I really like this one, and this is the one I wanted to think about this morning as we come to our practice, as we come to our meditation, as we do the same yoga postures that we do day in and day out. They don't change a whole lot. And sometimes when things are new and flashy and too exciting, we think they're insignificant. So the one coin loophole, and it's best summarized by the praise of folly. And there is a footnote in that. It says, if 10 coins are not enough to make a man rich, what if you add just one coin? And what if you add another coin and another? Finally, you will have to say that no one can be rich unless one coin can make him so. In other words, even though one coin certainly isn't sufficient to make a man rich, a man only becomes rich by adding one coin after another. So this teaching story highlights a paradox that's very significant to habits and happiness. Often when we consider our actions, it's clear that any one instance of an action is almost meaningless. Yet at the same time, the sum of those actions is very meaningful. Whether we choose to focus on the single coin or the growing heap will shape our behavior. So not one yoga practice is significant, but all of the practices of our yoga really does shape our behavior and really influence our life. So it's not just the one coin, it's the heap that we are cultivating. So that's enough of the book review. Let's get up onto our feet and shake it off. Another insignificant shaky that makes all the difference. So here we go. A whole lot of shaking's about to go on. Let's start this day.
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. Yes, I say, come on over, baby. Baby, you can't go wrong.
A lot of words.
We ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I say, come on over, baby. We got chicken in the corner. Woo, huh? Come on over, baby. Well, they got the bull by the horn. We ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, let's shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake it, baby, shake it. Let's shake, baby, shake. Come on over. Oh, lot of shaking going on. Oh, let's go. Shake it, baby. Yeah. You can shake it one time for me. You know how to come over, baby. Oh, I'll shake it going on. Now let's get real low one time.
Get real low.
Shake it, baby, shake it. All you gotta do, honey, is kind of stand in one spot. Wiggle around just a little bit. that's what you got. Yeah. Baby, what I'm shaking on. Now let's go one time.
Very good.
Shake it,
And
baby,
one last
shake
bit.
it. Shake it, baby, shake it.
One last hit to wake up the body.
Come on, baby, shake it, baby, shake it. Come on up. Oh, lot of shaking going on.
Fantastic. Coming to stillness. Emptying the breath. Standing strong on our own 2 feet. Perhaps one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And feel the heart beating. Strongly pumping the blood around the body. Bringing that oxygen that we're breathing back into the bloodstream. Each pump of this heart, each one on its own, not so significant. But as we know, they all together lead to this beautiful life that we are living, that we're breathing, that we're touching and tasting. Each beat of the heart is significant in that way. Each breath that we take is so significant to our lives. This moment that we're standing here on our mat has so much importance. So can you be here deeply right now in this moment with the heartbeat, with the breath that's flowing through your body, with everything that you're feeling, everything you're thinking. Be here deeply and cherish it. And then on your next inhale, let's stretch the body, reach the arms to the sky. Oh, and give yourself a big bow. Hinge forward from your hips. Soften your knees as much as you need to. Let your head release. And perhaps there's a little sway side to side. And remember, if you need to protect your back, forearms to your thighs. Or just let the body dangle forward, stretching out the back line of the body. And coming back to center, drop the weight into your heels and roll the body up one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. With a big inhale, reach up again. And then exhale, we're gonna, the arms release. We're gonna separate the feet just a little bit wider. We're gonna start with some gentle twists. So soft bend in your knees and let your feet move side to side. We're gonna twist to the right, the arms wrap behind the body, and twist to the left. And then build up some momentum. So your feet are moving with the upper body. And let your arms swing so that it really helps to rotate through the upper spine, through that tight thoracic area. Feel the rotation all the way in the pelvis. Maybe your gaze is following with each twist, or you can, and you're very welcome to keep your gaze forward. Perfect. And then let's slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Until eventually we come all the way to stopping again, all the way back to that pause. And then just feel the effect of that in your body. Perfect. We're going to take our hands up, fingertips to our shoulders. Now this time, plant your feet into the ground so the feet don't move. And we're just going to get a little bit more momentum. Moving to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale left, exhale right. So now the feet are planted in place. Notice the difference that creates. A little bit more rotation we might be getting. through the upper body. Good. And let your knees be soft so they absorb the shock as we move. Beautiful. Just waking up the spine. Inhale left, exhale right. We're going to do that for another 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Release the arms and just feel. Feel how much change and how much shift that creates. Such an insignificant movement creates so much change, so much shift. All right, let's step to the front of the mat. Bring your feet together. Let's come into our vinyasa sequence. So breath in as the arms rise up, reaching up to the sky. Exhale as we fold. Hinge from the hips, soften the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, find some extension and length. Exhaling into our fold. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhaling into our fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, lift halfway. Perfect. Exhale, fold. Right leg steps back. Inhale. We're going to touch the knee all the way down to the floor and lift your gaze to the sky. Beautiful. Now pick the back knee up, tuck the back toes. Straighten that left leg as much as you can. Little pyramid stretch. And then drop the back knee again. Lift your gaze to the sky. Inhale, straighten the left leg and look down. Good. Remember, blocks under your hands are going to make that maybe a little easier for you. You're finding the floor hard or difficult to reach. Straighten the left leg, look down. Good. One more time. Drop the back knee and lift the gaze. Pause there. Untuck the toes. And then sweep the arms to the sky. Inhale for our low lunge. Perfect. Lengthen, lift up through the sides of the waist. One more breath. And then hands back to the floor. Slide the left leg back to your right, coming into all fours. Hands and knees. Take a moment, wag your tail. Side to side, sway the tail behind you. Let that move and translate into your shoulders. Around into the neck. Beautiful. And then we're going to come back to center, back to the hands and knees. Inhaling into our cow pose. Draw the shoulders back, pull the heart forward. Exhaling into our cat stretch. Chin tucks to chest, tailbone under. Inhaling into cow. Arching the back. Exhale, rounding the back. Pull under. Press your thighs towards your arms. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, rounding the back. Can we hold the rounded shape? Can we press the thighs just a little bit more towards the arms? And maybe we can even come up onto our fingertips. And keep pressing the hips forward. Big stretch for the back body. And then child's pose. Press the hips back towards the heels. Let your forehead bow. And let the shoulders soften. Breathe into the back body. All right, we're going to come back into some twists. But first, let's just warm up this right shoulder. Let's come forward into all fours. Good. Extend and reach that right arm forward, almost to the top of your mat. As you exhale, pull the hips back. We're going to take a twist now. Right arm reaches to the sky, twisting the body to the right side. And then reach forward again, maybe even further. Hips pull back as we exhale. That's it. Inhale, slide it open into your twists. And then exhale, last time. We're going to pause with the arm in the sky. Inhale. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Pause here. See if you can rotate just a little bit more. And then the right arm threads underneath the left. Let's land that shoulder on the floor. Side of your head, side of your ear to the ground too. And at first, use this left hand, drive downwards into the left hand to roll open the chest towards the sky. That left shoulder stacking, aligning over the right. Good. And then if you want to change variations with your hands now, I love the one where we interlace the hands and then we pull that right arm a little bit more. Some of you love the one where you take the left arm behind your back and reaching down towards your right hip. Maybe that allows you to open up that left shoulder a little bit more. Good. Sticking with your favorite for another 2 breaths. Not getting complacent in the pose. We're still turning the ribs towards the sky and not forgetting the breath. Perfect. After that last one, we're going to slowly unravel, coming back to all fours. Let's tuck our toes, lift our hips to the sky. Ooh, downward facing dog. March it out, march out the legs, bending one knee at a time. And pressing the hands into the floor, imprinting them, pulling back. Beautiful. Then we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So we're coming back into our standing forward fold now at the back of the mat. Beautiful. Drop the weight into your heels. Roll the body up. Coming up 1 vertebra at a time. And when we get to the top, reach the arms to the sky. Take a big stretch. And exhale, the hands from behind our back. Good. Hands behind our back. Interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back. Open up the chest and press the knuckles down towards the floor. Think of your tailbone pointing down to the floor and the chest lifting a little bit higher towards the sky. Beautiful. Belly pulling in. 1 more breath. And then let's bow forward. Hinge from your hips. Soften your knees as much as you need to. Knuckles start to lift upwards to the sky. Let your head get heavy. The neck is released. Check it out. Make sure that is true. And then maybe we can squeeze the shoulders together just a little bit more. Shoulder blades come towards each other. And then release the hands. Let's walk it all the way forward into our plank pose. Coming all the way forward to the top of the mat. Pausing here in our plank pose. Press the floor away. And then slowly lowering down. Hug the elbows in towards the ribs. Keep them hugging in. Inhale. Open up the heart and the chest. And then exhale back into child's pose. Hips back towards the heels. Bow the forehead. All right, let's do that same sequence on the other side. So we're coming up to all fours. Reaching that left hand forward. Reach, reach, reach. Feel it opening up all those muscles in the left side body. And then hips back towards the heels. Circle the arm. Reach to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Top of the mat. Hips back towards your heels. Beautiful. Inhale. Full circle. Exhale. Hips back. Now this time we're going to pause. Full circle. Left arm up to the sky. Into our full twist. Good. See if you can rotate a little bit more. Great. Left arm threaded underneath the right. That's it. You're landing that left side of the head to the floor. And the more you reach that left arm across, the more you're going to feel in that left upper back and shoulder. Use your right hand at first to help turn the body, turn you into your twist. And then choosing the option that you really love. Whether you're clasping the hands and pulling slightly on that left arm, or that right arm is coming behind your back. Beautiful. We're going to take 1 more breath here. And then slowly we're going to unwind, unravel, come back to all fours. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, lift the hips towards the sky, press the heart back towards the thighs. And let's walk our hands back to our feet. Coming into our forward fold, body drapes forward. Heels sink down, roll the body up. 1 vertebra at a time, reaching the arms to the sky. And then exhale, release the arms and take them all the way back behind you. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the knuckles down. So maybe now you're feeling slight difference from the first time we came here. Tailbone down, heart lifted. Start to lift those arms. 1 more breath. And then exhale, take your bow again. Fold forward, knuckles to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades in towards each other. One more breath. And let's release those. We're gonna walk again into our downward facing dog only. Walking into our downward facing dog. Press the chest back towards the thigh. We're gonna bend the knees a lot. Bend your knees so you can bring your belly and ribs closer to your legs. Then straighten your legs and press those heels back into the floor. Bend the knees, chest and belly closer to the thighs. And then straighten the legs and really drive the heels down. Even if they don't touch, just opening the backs of the legs one more time. Bending the knees. And then straightening the legs, heels pressed down. Good, let's bend the knees again. And then spring that right foot forward between the hands. Good. We're gonna drop the back knee, lift our gaze. Beautiful. Then lifting the left knee and straightening the right leg, pyramid stretch. Drop the knee, lift the gaze, stretching this left hip flexor. Lift the knee, pyramid stretch. Drop the gaze. One more time. Drop the knee, lift the gaze. Lifting the knee and dropping the head. Now let's drop the back knee all the way to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, finding our low crescent lunge. Beautiful. Breathing into that, pick up through the front of the pelvis. One more breath. And then exhale, the hands come back to the floor. Step it forward, left foot forward, the right. Lengthen, lift. And exhale, take your fold. Head drops down. Drop the weight into your heels and roll the body up one vertebra at a time. Slowly reach the arms to the sky. And then exhale, the hands return back by your sides. All right, so we're changing it up now, changing up our sequence. We are going to start with a little chair pose. So we're gonna bend the knees, sit back like you're sitting in a chair, and it can be a high chair. We don't have to sit super low or deep in it. If you want to, bring your hips a little bit lower. You can get all the way down there. Feel free. Just make sure that wherever you are, you don't feel a load in your back. Pull the belly in. That's going to help keep the back long. Beautiful. And then we're going to take a twist. Easy twist to start. Left hand to the right thigh. Right arm reaches all the way back behind you. Now make a big circle. Sink a little bit lower. Maybe your fingertips can brush the floor. Inhale, we reach upwards. And then exhale, maybe sink a little lower. Left hand is always on the right thigh. One more breath. Exhale. Now bring both arms back up. Find your chair pose. Whew. And let's take it to the other side. Right hand twists over to that left thigh. Good. And we're going to take that arm up and back. Whew. And then sink lower. Maybe the fingers can brush the floor. Inhaling up. Exhale all the way down. That's it. One more time, just like that. Inhale up and around. Exhale down, both arms up. Now stand all the way up, press through the heels. And then exhale, fold all the way forward. Stretching into the backs of those legs. Take a little wiggle there, a little sway. If you want to deepen that stretch, hands come behind your cuffs and press forward. Beautiful. One more breath. Fantastic. Then hands come to the fronts of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling into our fold. Right leg steps back again. This time, we have a choice. We can drop the knee to the floor or keep it lifted. Inhaling, arms up to the sky. So if your balance isn't so great in your present lunge, feel free to lower the knee down. Give yourself a little bit more support. Press back through the heel of your right foot. Lift up through the fingertips. And take one more breath here. We're going to bring our hands to our heart and twist to the left. Right elbow to the outside of our left thigh. There's always the option to lower the back knee. Don't worry if It's not so challenging. Just make sure you can stay in the balance. Find your breath. Press through the heel, out to the crown of your head. Good. Maybe feeling a bit of fire through that left leg. One more breath. Now we're going to open up to warrior two. So we're going to lift the arms, whoop, pivot the back heel, and sink even lower into that left leg. Should be relatively warm now. Now straighten the left leg. Left arm reaches up and back. A little reverse with a straight leg. Exhale, we're going to come into side angle, forearm to the thigh. Right arm reaches up and over the head. Good, reverse it back. Left arm sweeps up and over, left leg straight. Exhaling into our side angle, forearm to left thigh, right arm up and overhead. Inhale, reverse it back. And our last time, exhaling into our side angle, let's pause here. Sink perhaps a little deeper into the legs, into the hips. And if this side stretch is feeling super yummy, stay in that. Or perhaps start your bind. Right arm wraps around the lower back. Maybe you're taking your full bind variation, finding the hands, leaning back. Finding your breath and just remembering that not a single pose in this practice is insignificant. All of them add up to a bigger picture. All of them are doing so much good for the body when we practice them regularly. Strength, flexibility, mobility, endurance in our lungs and our breath. One more here. Perfect. Release the arms, press into that left foot and straighten the left leg. One more time, reverse it back. And then this time for triangle pose, left hand comes somewhere along the left leg, whether it's the thigh or the shin or the ankle. Draw the hips back and extend through the sides of the waist. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Fill up your lungs in all directions, side, front, and back. One more breath. All right, we're gonna come back up, warrior two. We're gonna cartwheel the hands down and around, frame the front foot and just pause there. Make sure your back foot has spun forward. Now we're gonna come into the same twist we did last time. So let's just drop the back knee for a moment. Give that left leg a rest. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Hands come back to the heart. We're gonna twist to the left side. Right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Point the left elbow high into the sky. The left elbow points up towards the ceiling. That's it. All right, now to challenge you a little bit more, we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Boop. Now I'd like you to take one little step further forward with your back foot, but keep your right elbow over the outside of your left knee. Take another little step. Whoop. Can we take another little step so the right knee is bent a lot? Still in our twist. Just for a brief moment, can you shift your weight into your left and then lift the right heel up? Wow, like a bird standing on one leg. And then plant the right foot and twist a little bit more deeply through the waist. Look up to the sky and then unravel. Inhale, stand up tall. And exhale, release the arms. Give it a little shaky shake. Release the legs, give them a little tap if you need to. Whew. One more time. Other side, full sequence again, starting with those twists. Starting with chair pose, actually. So sink the hips back, reach the arms forward. Remember, elbow down, belly in, protecting the lower back. All right, let's start with a twist on the right side. Right arm up. We're gonna go side to side. Maybe we can brush the hands to the floor, bringing the hands back together. Left arm up. Big twist. Maybe we can brush the hands to the floor, hands back together. One more time. Inhale, right side. Exhale. Inhale, left side. Exhale. Good. Inhale, we're going to bring our hands to the heart center. Ooh, ooh. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Twisting to the right, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Left elbow outside of right knee. Thumb spinning towards center of chest, looking to the sky. Ooh. Then inhale, let's lift up. Release the arms, release that from the back body. And exhale, take your fold. Bow the forehead down. Beautiful. Now we're going to step our left leg back. And then you decide whether we're going to keep the knee on the floor, keep the knee lifted. We're going to inhale, reach the arms upwards to the sky, finding our lunge. Whether it's a low lunge, knee on the floor, or high crescent lunge. Find the stability in your legs, lift up through the front of the pelvis. Let's take our twist again here, hands at the heart. Left elbow over to the outside of the right thigh. Right elbow points to the sky. Keeping the length in your spine, length through the sides of your waist, length through the neck as well. One more breath. Then let's open it up to our warrior two. So there's a little transition, a little cartwheel. And then sink down into that right leg. Oh, I know, you feel it. Me too. Straighten the leg, right arm up and overhead. Right leg straightens, reverse warrior. That's it. And then side angle, bend the knee again. Drop the forearm, reach the left arm. And then reverse it. Inhaling up and over. Exhaling, forearm to thigh. Left arm over. Good, one more time. Inhale. Right leg straightens, pull back. And then stopping, pausing in your side angle pose, coming forward. We're going to either hold the reach, holding that side bend, or take your bind. Wrap the arm around the lower back. Beautiful. We've got half binds, full bind. Excellent. Draw that left shoulder back a little bit more. Well done. All right, let's come out of that. Reverse the arms first, and then come all the way back up, straighten the right leg. We're preparing for triangle pose. Right arm up and over. And then as we exhale, triangle pose. Hand either to the thigh, to the shin, the ankle. Finding your breath again. Feel the length and the space that you're creating. Beautiful. One last breath. And then slowly we're going to rise. Now, before we go back to the front of the mat, we're going to turn to the long edge of the mat, hands to the hips. Let's turn our toes in, turn the heels out. Beautiful stretch in our forward fold. Lift the chest to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Draw the belly up. Draw the arches of your feet up. Let your hands find the floor. Lifting up through the backs of your legs. Crown of the head rooting down. Breath in as we lift, extend. Exhale. One more breath. All right, so we're going to lift up about halfway. Start to pivot your feet slightly open. We're going to bend the back leg, our left leg, walk over towards it. Walk your hands towards the foot and sink the hips down. You might stop halfway, or you might be able to drop all the way down into your Skandasana. You're dropping your hips towards your heels. Pick up the toes on the right side. Beautiful. And then let's start to come back over to the right side. So back your center, walk your hands over to the right foot, and then just sink here. And maybe that's enough. Or drop the hips. Pull the toes upwards to the ceiling. Good. Listen to your body. One more breath. All right, now we're going to turn ourselves all the way back around towards the front of the mat. And we're going to drop the back knee. Give ourselves a little rest. Inhale the arms up to the sky, back into our low lunge. And then here we are, the grand finale. Bring the hands back to the heart. Take a twist on your exhale, left elbow, the outside of that right thigh. Right elbow points up to the sky. And really drive that right hand into your left. That's going to give you some safety, some security that you can work off of. And then tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Good. Looking down to the floor always. Take a little step. If you're ready to take just one big step, you can. Or just keep bringing it in gradually, 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 until we're just standing on the right leg. Left leg comes in, but we're like a bird that's preserving their energy. We're pulling up that left leg. Maybe we keep the toes on the floor, or there's a brief moment where we can come into the full bird. Pull the heel up towards the sit bone. Ooh. Very good for our balance. Left foot back to the floor. Twist, look up to the ceiling just a moment longer. And then release. Arms reach up to the sky. Oh, that was a big one. Exhale, give yourself a big bow. Maybe we take a little dance here. March out the legs. Shake out the hair. Then we're going to drop down, hips towards heels, and we're going to roll back all the way onto our backs. All the hard work is done for today. However you get there to your back. And start just to rock and roll the knees into and away from the body. And making some circles. Knees can be together, or we can make those circles apart. Just a moment to release. Whatever way feels releasing for you. All right, let's separate the knees. Hold onto your ankles. We're just going to rotate the feet, releasing the ankle joints. Circling the feet one way, and a couple of times in the other direction. And then flexing the feet. Perhaps we can hold on to the edges of the feet, and then happy baby. Start to spread the feet away from each other so they're wider than your knees, wider than your hips. That's it. Soles of the feet shining towards the sky. Anchor the tailbone down, rooting through the pelvis, and then some gentle rock side to side. Perfect. Let's drop the left foot onto the floor. So the left knee is still pointing to the sky. Thread the needle. We're going to take the right ankle over the left. But before we pull the legs in, take a moment to open up the hip flexor. Press the right knee away from the body. And then eventually pulling those legs up into the belly, the chest, holding either behind the left thigh or above that left knee or shin. Drawing in here. Beautiful. One more breath. Then we're going to unrelease the legs, or unravel the legs, release the feet to the floor, taking the feet to the edges of your mat. And then opening your arms like a T and let the knees rock side to side. Releasing the hip flexors and the quadriceps. And then we're going to drop the legs over to the right side and press the left hip forward. So you get a little bit of lengthening here into that left quadricep. You really want to push in the same direction. Yes, that the legs are going. Legs over to the right. Press the hips that way. And then pick the legs up and bring them over to the left side. And pressing the right hip a little bit further in that direction. Good. Let's come back to center, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. And let's draw the legs in. And holding behind the thigh or above the shin. Letting the shoulders be soft. Beautiful. And one more breath here. And releasing the right foot, releasing the left. Let your knees swish a little bit side to side one more time. Then we're going to hug the knees back in toward the chest. Give ourselves a little rock and roll up back to our feet so there's no temptation to fall asleep now. And I just want to give one more stretch for the thighs, for those quadriceps that probably felt it a little bit in our chair pose. So we're going to bring the right foot to the left inner thigh. And we're going to bend the left knee and bring that heel back towards our sit bone. So if you're finding that quite tricky, instead of bringing that left heel close into your sit bone, you're going to open it up a little bit. And then you're going to come into a little diagonal. Let me give you the best view of that. So if you're able to, bring the right foot to the inner thigh and bring that left heel right to the outside of your hip. For you, who's in this position comfortably, you're going to lean back. Maybe you're just leaning back onto your hands, or maybe you can lean back onto your forearms. Ooh, and you'll really start to feel. Now, if that's not possible in your knees for today, separate that left heel from your knee. Grab hold of the top of the ankle or shin, and then go off to a diagonal. Let your knee open out so it starts to point towards the longer edge of the mat. We're just looking to feel a stretch here into this quadricep, into the front of the thigh. Beautiful. If you are going backwards, think of lengthening the tailbone, like almost a little scoop or a tuck of the tailbone under. Right. Let's switch sides. Gently, gently lifting ourselves up, straightening that left leg. And if you wish, just take a little bow towards that left leg, stretching into the hamstring. Beautiful. And we're going to rise up. Coming back to our seat, switching sides. Right leg extends, left foot comes to the inner thigh of that right leg. We're going to either pull the heel, tuck it really close in, so the right knee is facing forward. If you're there, you're going to come back onto your hands or onto your forearms, maybe a little tuck of the tail. Or remember, if that doesn't serve your knees, let the knee open out away from that foot. So I'm pulling it outward, holding onto the ankle, then going go diagonal off to the side. Beautiful. And we slow down the breath again. One more breath here. And slowly we're going to rise, coming back to our seat. Straighten, stretch that right leg, and take a little bow one more time towards it. And slowly coming back to your seat, tucking the right leg in, or if you need to do anything else before we just finish and close our practice with a couple of moments of our seated practice. This time we dedicate to just stilling the mind, letting the body relax, recover from the physical practice of yoga. And then hopefully by now we are really experiencing the deeper meaning of the word yoga, where we feel like our bodies and our minds are united. That the body, the mind, the heart, and soul are finally all yoked together. And as we sit, just allowing the breath to flow, observing its natural rhythm, the way it naturally rises and falls in the body. Each breath, not one breath is more significant or insignificant than the next. Each breath we take brings our prana, our life force. And although it may seem insignificant, each single breath on its own, when we look at the whole picture of all the breaths we take, we're seeing our whole lives. Perhaps with the next breath, we can draw in anything that we want to take into our day. Any energy that we want to fill ourselves up with as we finish our practice. And perhaps with the exhalations, letting go. Letting go of that energy, clearing it out, that energy we don't want to take into our day. Let's take one more breath like that. On this next breath, draw in exactly how you want to feel in your day. And let go of all the ways you don't want to feel in your day. And then just settle in the stillness, in the quiet. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Big breath in. And as we exhale, pulling the hands down to our heart, giving ourselves a bow. Thank you so much for your practice, for your time, for your beautiful, precious energy. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Bye, Clay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Have a good day. Thank you. See you
Everyone.
later.
See you later.
See you later.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank
Bye, everyone.
you. Bye.